Hi everyone, my name is Burgundy and welcome to Drops, our monthly show about sneaker releases. In this video, I will be presenting what I think are the best sneaker releases of the month, so if you don't see all of them, that's normal. However, if you have any questions about the release I didn't cover, don't hesitate to put a comment down below. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start with the amazing Air Jordan 11 Low Setsubun Grey. And what a pleasure to start with the favorite Jordan of his Ernest. As some of you already noticed, this colorway is very similar to the Jordan 11 Cool Grey that was released last year. However, the grey is a little bit lighter, and of course, it's a low. But that doesn't mean this pair will not be hype, because not many Jordan 11 are released every year. Which means every time there's a new one popping out, everybody is interested and might want to get their hands on this. Personally, I really like it, and I might copy it if I have the occasion. Well, I live in France, so it's going to be easy if I want one, because not many people, instead of real OGs, want this. But for you guys, I'm just going to say good luck. The pair is expected to release on April 1st on the sneakers app. Moving on to the Nike J1 Day 1. Here it is, finally, the first signature shoe of J Morant is dropping this month. Many colorways are expected for this, but this one is the first, so the OG model. As you can see, this sneaker will be perfect for summer because of the texture and the colorway. In terms of performance, the shoe is designed to keep wearers in control while maximizing hang time and reducing landing force. To be honest, I can't wait to see where this shoe will go. This is only the start of a legacy and it's exciting. The pair is expected to release on April 1st on the sneakers app. Now let's talk about a surprising collaboration. The Nike Terminator with Comme des Garçons. Yeah, I know, it's an advantage to be French when you have to pronounce the name of the brands. Expected to release in 3 colorways, this pair is one of the unexpected releases we haven't seen coming. Why? Because combining an OG pair from the Be True to Your School pack with this brand is not something usual. Now, regarding the pair, instead of the CDG at the back, there's nothing very original about it. Plus, it's way more expensive than an OG Terminator that you can find at retail prices these days. So this collaboration, despite the brand's prestige, might not seduce many people. The 3 colorways are expected on April 1st at Comme des Garçons New York and Dover Street Market online. Let's continue with a Nike LeBron NXXT White. This version of the LeBron 20 is back with a very simple and classy colorway. The pair is entirely white, except for the swoosh surrounded by black seams. Also, there's a silver swoosh next to the big one. We can also see the XX behind the shoe and LeBron's signature on the tongue. And that's all for the pair, which is, as I already said, very simple, even though it is still a LeBron. These sneakers are expected to release on the 1st of April on the sneakers app. Moving on to the New Balance 1906R Burgundy. The 1906R is the new successful model of New Balance in 2023. It was launched along with a protection pack, and since that, many people have started to buy the general releases of it. And let's be honest, this colorway is beautiful. The particularity of this pair is the cage behind the heel that gives even more comfort and stability than the 2002R. But of course, the gel technology is mostly responsible for this incredible comfort. I've been wearing this pair for a month, not this colorway but the protection pack, and I can only advise you to buy some if you want to wear very comfy shoes. These are expected to release on April 1st on the New Balance website. Now let's come back to Nike with a beautiful Air Force 1 Jackie Robinson. In homage to the first African-American player to have played in the MLB, this Air Force 1 is a tribute to him, of course, but also to the Brooklyn Dodgers, his team. The pair have its color, its logo, and Jackie Robinson's number on the heel and insole. Behind, we can see seams that remind us, of course, a baseball ball. Let's be honest, it's a beautiful Air Force 1 for the team fans and a great tribute to the player. The pair is expected to release on the 1st of April on the sneakers app. Moving on to a surprising collab that was announced recently, the BAPE Adidas Campus to celebrate the brand's anniversary. First of all, the Adidas Campus is a legendary pair, but it also brings some things more interesting. We saw that Adidas is trying to bring back old models recently, along with Bad Bunny. So seeing BAPE working on an Adidas Campus really seems to confirm that. There's no doubt that when BAPE asked Adidas about the collab, the 3 stripes directly said, please work on the Adidas Campus. The pair is simple, cool, and bring us back to the 90s. An absolute banger. These are expected to release on the 1st of April on Adidas confirmed and BAPE.com. Now let's talk about a new Nike Dunk Low, the Kentucky Alternate. Well, for the connoisseur, yes, another French word, this colorway is almost an OG, since the Kentucky was in the Be True to Your School pack for the Dunk. But this time we have a white swoosh. And that's it. No, for real. I don't know what happened in the Nike office, but even if those are nice, the originality is less than present. I mean, at this point, just go to Dunk Low by you and do the same. However, it will not be an easy cop, so be prepared if you want to get your hands on this. These sneakers are expected to release on the 4th of April on Nike.com. Let's continue with two Nike in tribute to the city of Atlanta, the Dunk Low ATL and the Air Force One ATL. For these pairs, Nike continues something they always love to do, showing love to influential cities. Here, the two pairs are made of orange and red, with suede all over them. The ATL logo can be seen on the insoles and at the back of the shoe, to give a little more originality to it. These are not going to be very hype, but they look definitely cool with these flashy colors. Both are expected to release on the 4th of April on the Sneakers app. Moving on to the saddest news of the month, the release of the Dunk Low Off-White Futura in their two colorways. Why is it sad? Because no one except rich people can get their hands on this. Because these will be released at Sotheby's auctions for charity. I mean, that's great, because it will raise a lot of money for charity. But many people were waiting for this. And instead of that, we have the Air Force One Mid-Pine Green, and we're gonna talk about it later. However, this had a lot of meaning for Virgil, so it's normal that they don't release normally in the end. The auction is expected to start on the 5th of April on Sotheby's website. Now, let's talk about the Air Jordan 3 Lucky Green. Released in women's size only, this pair is definitely a banger. For those who didn't know, the Jordan 3 is the pair that made Michael Jordan stay at Nike. So seeing it back on track this last month is a great thing for the Jordan brand. These are not the most hyped Jordans, but the combination of white leather, elephant print, and green works perfectly and might convince a lot of people. These are expected to release on the 6th of April on the Sneakers app. Moving on to another Nike LeBron 20, the black gold colorway. I chose to talk about these because I find them way cooler than the collaboration dropping the same day with Uninterrupted. For me, this LeBron shoe is simple but gold, like its swoosh. We can see an all-black knitted upper along with the double legs and also that swoosh that goes behind the shoe like the ambush collapse. The semi-translucent blue on the outsole makes us remember the icy sole of the Jordan 11. And that's also a great point. Yeah, a cool LeBron pair to look for in April. These are expected to release on the 6th of April on the Sneakers app. Let's continue with the Air Force One 4 Horsemen. If you ignore what this pair is about, well, it's another tribute to LeBron James. In 2003, when they signed him, they launched the Air Force One 4 Horsemen, in homage to him and the players surrounding him on the court, like Maverick Carter, Rich Paul, and Randy Mims. Inspired by the Vincent St. Mary High School, the pair is made of white leather with a green swoosh and outsole. There's also a chest horse on the heel to complete an interesting Air Force One. The pair is expected to release on the 7th of April on the Sneakers app. Now, let's talk again about the Jordan 1 OG Skyline. Yes, we already talked about it last month, because it was supposed to release in March. However, it is now confirmed for this month. And what a pleasure to finally have this very interesting Jordan 1. The color is an inspiration from the awesome montage of Michael Jordan jumping in front of the city of Chicago. A montage that gave birth to the Jordan brand logo when Tinker Hatfield saw it. This pair will not be very hype, so if you do all the raffles, it might be easy for you to cop one. These sneakers are expected to release on the 8th of April on the Sneakers app. Moving on to another Dunk Low, the Setsubun. This pair is a tribute to a festival held in Japan. People partake in rituals that ward off evil spirits. As said in the Japanese lunar calendar, the celebration occurs one day before the start of spring. The pair has amazing details, like the embroidered Tsunodaishi, the Great Horn Master, which has two swoosh instead of horns. This sign is supposed to protect you from evil and illness. So the pair is great because it is made for superstitious people who want positivity and protection in their lives. These are expected to release on the 10th of April on the Sneakers app or Nike.com. We don't know yet. Let's continue with a very special shoe, the new creation from MSCHF, the BWD. As usual, the MSCHF Atelier comes with something very difficult to wear, but original, like the big red boot. But this time, the concept is interesting, since you can wear the shoes on both sides. Of course, one side seems more adapted than the other, but you can do that. The material seems very interesting, and as usual, this will be very hard to cop, since the stock is low for each of their releases. So if you want one of these, good luck. These are expected to release on the 11th of April on the MSCHF website. Now let's talk about Air Max ones. And the first one of the month is the Mica Green colorway. While the Air Max Day just ended, Nike doesn't seem to stop with the Air Max ones this year. And that wonderful colorway shows that to us. We can see some nice colors, like white, gray, and lighter gray. The pair is pure and makes us think a lot of the OG pairs because of that. The hype will not be huge for this, but I bet these will still be hard to cop. So be sure to be prepared if you want your size when it's out. These are expected to release on the 14th of April on the sneakers app. Moving on to the second Air Max one of the month, the CO.JP Michigan. CO.JP, if you don't know, stands for Concept Japan and refers to very limited pairs that only drop in Japan. This concept was created for the Dunks in the 2000s, when there were still a lot of exclusives. For these ones, we don't know yet if they will only release in Japan or not. Only time will tell. But there's one thing for sure, the combination of colors is interesting and original, and many people might want to get their hands on this Air Max one. These are expected to release on the 14th of April on the sneakers app and Nike's Japanese website. Now things start to get very serious for this month, with the Air Jordan 1 High OG Lucky Green. This shoe is an obvious tribute to the Celtics team, like the Lucky Green that was released 2 years ago. But this time, the pair is an OG, which means different shape and special box. And this is cool. But that's not all, because these sneakers are also an exact copy of the Jordan 1 Defining Moment Celtics that was released in 2009. It's almost like getting a restock for this. So for the people who wanted this for a while, that's a very good opportunity. These are expected to release on the 15th of April on the sneakers app. Let's continue with the Nike SB Run the Jewels pack, with a low and a high. Referring to the iconic hip-hop duo LP and Killer Mike, these two pairs are definitely some of the most interesting ones of this calendar. The blue one is a tribute to Killer Mike, while the purple is an obvious tribute to LP. We don't have a lot of info about these yet, but we can already see some interesting details on them, like the logo of the group on the outsole. For the high, I'm not sure, but the low is definitely going to get some hype, so be prepared if you want one of these. The two pairs are expected to release on the 20th of April on the sneakers app. Moving on to the Tom Sachs General Purple shoe in its gray colorway. And finally, after the brown colorway that was really a fail for me, we get a nice colorway out of this collection. If you don't know Tom Sachs yet, he's the designer of the Mars Yard, a legendary Nike shoe that was designed to travel in space with it. And recently, he decided to create the most simple sneaker on the planet. In the beginning, the hype was high and the stock was low, but now he releases more and more colorways so that people can have full access of the concept of that artist. These are expected to release on the 21st of April on the sneakers app. Moving on to the Air Jordan 1 OG Washed Pink. And I really like this pair since it's definitely the Hyper Royal that was released 2 years ago, but in pink. Also, a lot of ladies around me saw this pair, and it's been a month that they're talking about it. And when I say they, there are around 15 girls who told me, "Can you get me this pair please?" And I answered, "Do I look like a sneaker shop to you?" By the way, I understand the hype they can have, because even if I don't wear pink, I find them beautiful, and these will be kinda hard to cop for sure. This pair is expected to release on the 22nd of April on the sneakers app. Now I'm very happy, because we are going to talk about the Air Jordan 13 Black Flint. And man, when you tell me Air Jordan 13 and the word Flint right after, you don't even need to sell the sneaker to me. I'm already convinced. I mean, it is the last sneaker that Michael Jordan wore with the Bulls for the whole season. I know, he wore the 14 during the finals, but for me, the 13 is the sneaker of the last dance. As you guessed, this pair is a tribute to the legendary Air Jordan 13 Flint of 1998. And many fans like me will want to get their hands on this, so be prepared to cop them. The pair is expected to release on the 22nd of April on the sneakers app. That's gonna be a huge day. Moving on to the Air Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott Olive. Finally, these incredible sneakers are confirmed for April, and I can't wait to see the last Jordan 1 Low by Travis Scott. Yes, because if you haven't heard the rumor, this will be the last pair of Jordan 1s by the rapper. So this will be a hard cop for sure. And nothing else to say about this. You know the drill. It's a Travis Scott. Everyone, even people who don't like sneakers, will want to cop this for money or to flex. So to maximize your chances, do all the raffles you find in all the shops. These are expected to release on the 26th of April on the Sneakers app. We are almost there, but let's talk now about the Air Force 1 Mid Off-White Pine Green. Listen, these are nice, but these would be much better if they were without that strange outsole. I mean, the pair was almost perfect and original, like a normal off-white shoe, but this outsole for me should be standard, not like this. Because look at the upper, even if it's an Air Force 1 Mid, the design is great. These are expected to release on the 28th of April on the Sneakers app. Finally, the last sneakers of the month. Let's talk about the Jordan 3 Wizard. This pair is a Jordan 3 in tribute to a very short amount of time Michael Jordan spent at the Washington Wizards. You know, the part of his career that most people have forgotten or want to forget. But it didn't last for long. Michael Jordan knew it was better to stop shortly after. But that is still something great that he wore this jersey, because we can get our hands on this nice Jordan 3. These are expected to release on the 29th of April on the Sneakers app. And that's it for today. What did you think about these releases? Which one do you expect the most? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, we intend to post a video at least every 2 weeks on this channel, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content. Thanks for watching and see you soon on Sneak on Air.